Us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know. In the
Minor Victim 1 in federal indictment of Jeffrey Epstein in New York in 2019. I was one of dozens of girls that I personally know who were forced into Jeffrey's mansion on 9 East 71 Street in New York City when we were just kids. Today is the first time that I ever speak publicly about what happened to me. I never thought that I would find myself here. The only reason that I am here is because it feels like the people who matter in this country finally care about what we have to say. As an immigrant from Brazil, I feel empowered knowing that the little girl struggling to get by at 14 and 15 years old finally has a voice. For the first time, I feel like I matter as an American. I was only 14 years old when I met Jeffrey. It was the summer of high school. I was working 3 jobs to try to support my mom and my sister when a friend of mine in the neighborhood told me that I could make $300 to give an older guy a massage. It went from a dream job to the worst nightmare. Jeffrey assistant Leslie Groff would call me and tell me that I needed to be at the house so often that I ended up dropping out of high school before 9th grade. And I never went back. From 14 to 17 years old, I went and worked for Jeffrey instead of receiving an education. Every day I hoped that he would offer me a real job as one of his assistants or something important. I would finally have made it big, as, like we say, the American dream. That day never came. I had no way out. I was, until he finally told me that I was too old.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we are going to see how MAGA are collapsing, and I'm laughing about it. I'm happy about it because I don't care. MAGA, they are finding out like each and every promise the guy give them, it's lie, and they don't like the truth because people want them, they refuse to listen. Oh my god, guys, let's dive in. Credit belongs to the owner of the videos. I'll come back with more commentary.
We have some big news right now. Donald Trump and the White House are putting significant pressure on Republicans to vote against the release of the Epstein files. According to Republican Thomas Massey, who's been one of the Republicans pushing to release the files, they are telling essentially members of Congress that a vote for Massey's discharge petition as soon as today, well, it's a vote against the interests of the White House. And here's the thing, Donald Trump will likely put his weight against any Republican member of Congress in re-election efforts if they vote to release the Epstein files. Right now, there is a discharge petition in an effort to get a full vote of the House of Representatives on to force the release of the files. Yesterday, we got 33,000 files, but those files were already mostly publicly available. And I'm on my way to the Capitol today, where there is going to be a historic press conference with at least 10 survivors of Epstein's horrific crimes. We need to highlight their stories. We need to keep talking about it, and the White House doesn't want us to, so I'm going to keep doing it. So spread the word.
And to be clear, the only motive for opposing this bill would be to conceal wrongdoing. You have a choice. Stand with the truth, or with the lies that have protected predators for decades. I am no longer weak. I am no longer powerless. And I'm no longer alone. And with your vote, neither will the next generation be. President Trump, you have so much influence and power in this situation. Please use that influence and power to help us, because we need it now, and this country needs it now.
Donald Trump's worst nightmare is coming true as Republicans are joining Democrats to force the release of the Epstein files. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has been desperate to distract and hide the files and get us to talk about something else. But Democrats haven't been buying it, and neither has Republican Thomas Massey, who put forth a discharge petition to force the DOJ to release the files. And no Republican joined him until now. And Donald Trump is issuing a warning to every Republican saying, quote, helping Thomas Massey and liberal Democrats with their attention seeking while the DOJ is fully supporting a more comprehensive file release is a hostile act to the administration, unquote. Yeah, Donald Trump is running scared right now. Now, it should be noted it's Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace, and Marjorie Taylor Greene who have signed on so far. And this was as of last night, so more may have signed on. And this is exactly what Donald Trump was trying to avoid. But every distraction he put forth only made the story grow bigger. And now we are here. Buckle up.
So guys, what's happening here? It's insane. It's crazy. The way some of these people, they see thinking like Trump will help them with all this. Of course, he's not going to help. He showed like he don't care about Epstein list. He is not willing to show you guys the risk in everything he promised. He's not delivering. And MAGA, they are collapsing where they are because some of them voted for him because of this. And now he's like, no, I'm not publishing that one. And you should ask yourself why he's protecting that. That means he's something he's trying to hide. Try to open your eyes, guys. So I don't know why you don't want to open your eyes, but it's obvious. It's in front of you. You can see the victim, which is so sad to see. Guys, let me know what you think. Let's keep watching, but this is insane.
The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee held a meeting. In this meeting was the testimonies from the victims of the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, one of the main reasons why this meeting was arranged was because of the pressure that has been put on Congress by the DOJ for them to actually release the files. The Department of Justice has accused Congress of covering up the files. I don't know if you guys remember, I do, but a part of Donald Trump's campaign promise is that he was going to release the files. But ever since he's gotten into the office, he's done anything but that. But because of the pressure that Congress has been getting from the DOJ, they've been trying to make something shake. And so they decided to organize this meeting. And it didn't actually turn out too well for them. See, one particular representative, a Republican representative that goes by the name of Nancy Mace, was visibly upset leaving that meeting. She actually ended up having a full panic attack. Full-blown panic attack, sweating, hyperventilating, shaking, I can't breathe. This is what Mace wrote on her social media accounts. As you saw from the clip, there were tears literally forming in her eyes. She's visibly upset, shaking her head. She can't even talk to anybody. Now, this is a direct quote that comes from Representative Mace. I feel the immense pain of how hard all of the victims are fighting for themselves because we know absolutely no one will fight for us. Mace, who is running for governor in South Carolina, she wrote on September 2nd, God bless all survivors. The panic attack that she sustained after just listening to some of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein caused her to finally define Trump and go and sign that petition. She signed the Mace petition, which is a petition to release the full Epstein's files, everything. USA Today reports that now 33,000 Epstein files have been released by Congress due to the fact that DOJ has been putting pressure on them. However, DOJ is stating that certain files with key components are still missing. Now, what do you think that she could have possibly heard in those testimonies for her to be walking outside of that office or that room looking like this? For her to have an entire full-on panic attack, hyperventilating, cannot breathe. And it's not as if she's triggered because she's a survivor herself. She has no experience in this from what I know. So for you to have this organic response just from listening to the testimonies of the victims, oh baby, whatever is in those files are truly sinister. Whatever that man was doing, and it's not just him, but the members that he had, a part of his operation, it had to have been truly sinister. And I see now why Donald Trump doesn't want anybody to see him in them files.
So guys, actually whatever happening to MAGAs, they deserve it. And what's pissing them off, it's like to come and say like, oh, we understand now, you warned us, we were so ignorant, we didn't want to hear because our hatred. Of course, they're not going to say that, but this is what's happening. Because I don't understand how you trust this guy, because he never keep his promise, and he's not a good businessman. He's a businessman, but the worst one who's always bankrupt. I don't know why you think he's going to come and save your business unless you are, I don't know, I don't understand. Let's keep watching.
Epstein survivors just called out Donald Trump by name during a powerful press conference. Now today, Representatives Khanna and Massey got together for a press conference along with the survivors so they could share their stories and urge other representatives to get behind the bill to force the release of the files. And while telling their stories, one of the survivors said this.
His biggest brag forever was that he was very good friends with Donald Trump. He had an 8x10 framed picture of him on his desk with the two of them. Like, they were very close.
Yeah, they were close. And this may be some insight into why Donald Trump is suddenly calling it a hoax and trying to stop the release of the files. It's also probably insight to why Donald Trump scheduled a flyover to interrupt this press conference during the middle of it. This was an extremely powerful moment, and I recommend you go watch it if you haven't. But this is also a moment where the American people are going to see and hear from the survivors themselves of why we need full transparency.
I keep seeing videos of people saying like how they regret their vote, and if they could go back, they would change their vote, or they wouldn't vote, or blah, 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 right? Y'all don't regret your vote. You regret that those hateful things that you wished upon other people are now affecting you when you didn't know they would. So I don't feel bad for you. You're getting exactly what's coming for you, and I hope you enjoy these next 4 years.
I just wanted to show y'all the funniest part about the little press conference that Trump did today, especially since this was a live stream on specifically Fox's TikTok page. This was the most commented comment over and over and over again. That's the whole comment in its entirety. Trump's a pedo. That's like literally over and over again. Thousands. Most sent 47 times this time. I mean, and that number just kept going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. I mean, look, over and over again and again. 163 times back to back. Release the list. That was another one that was very popular. Another running contender, orange is rotting. It just kept going. And then someone just finally called it out for what it is. This is the most hated man in the world, and he's our president. Lord have mercy. So then I thought, like, surely there has to be some platform that is, like, in his favor. So I went over to YouTube to check those comments. Different platform, different vibe. He's still alive, sad face. Breaking news, Donald Trump found alive, heartbreak. He literally stands there and lies. Incredible. Release the files, comedy show. He looks rough. Like, it just keeps going. And another one. I don't think I've ever seen a president or any political figure for that matter, or anybody, come on a platform and receive this much hate, let alone our president. Like, you would think someone would be like filtering these comments at least a little bit. Do they not have the power to do that? Like, I feel like it's too many that they can't even filter through them all. To be the most hated man in the country, how are you even in this position? That's crazy, but I just want to show you that. Okay.
So actually, some people are saying MAGA, they're using Epstein list, so they can say like give an excuse why they're leaving MAGA, but they already want to leave MAGA, but they don't want to admit it because the way they betrayed them and people want them, but they refuse to listen. I don't know what you think about that, but I think MAGA has many issues. You remember when they cut Medicare, they were like, oh my God, some of them were regretting, maybe those who depend on that. And when they went on farms, the farmers were crying, like, it's like they wait for their own stage where it's affecting them direct so they can complain. That's why I always say something, guys. MAGA don't support each other, don't love each other. They are so selfish, even among themselves. That's what I think. I don't know what you think, let me know, but that's what I think. Let's watch. I have one clip I have left. I'll be back.
So I've been seeing it float around that there are some MAGAs who actually do regret voting the way that they did. And what I have to say about that is good. Because honestly, the more you regret the thing that you've done, the more uncomfortable it is for you to sit with it, the more likely you are to remember this for next time. Maybe you're finally going to admit to yourself, I was wrong. Maybe you're finally going to admit to yourself, other people were right. Maybe you're going to admit to yourself, I made a huge mistake. I never should have done that. Maybe you will finally admit to yourself, I got taken in. I fell for a con. Maybe also you will admit to yourself that you don't care about anyone or anything unless it directly involves you.
Donald Trump should be impeached and removed for this. All of his supporters should turn on him. It's the absolute betrayal of everything that he ran and campaigned on and everything that he stood for. Duran has done over and over again. But now we've pushed them to the point where they probably don't feel that they have the option not to respond. And Donald Trump telling them to come back to the negotiating table now is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, what a impotent leader to be sitting there talking about coming back to the negotiating table. It's like sitting after Pearl Harbor and telling FDR, now's the time to go negotiate with the Japanese.
Right.
Negotiations are over now. The time for negotiations was before this. And so, yeah, Donald Trump looks, and man, I supported him this last year. I apologize for doing so. It was a bad calculation. At the time, it seemed like the right one. But he should be impeached and removed for this one. And
So guys, actually, if you're being honest with each other, I don't understand how people say we voted for him for better economy, for tax cuts, for my business to grow, stuff like that. Oh my God. Are you guys blind? The guy, he can't even manage his own business. But you think he can save yours? You know, when you're gonna help someone to do something, you have to start from yourself. You know that one, yeah? So there's no way you tell me you believe he's going to come and save your business. That's crazy, because there's no way it's happening. The only thing he knows is to bankrupt his business, like over and over. That's what he's doing to you, because it's what he knows. Because you see, farmers, we are going bankrupt. Oh my God, what's happening? We see small business crying. We see construction business crying about going bankrupt. We see, yeah, that's what he knows. And he knows you guys, you are losing your contract. He knows you guys, you're suffering, but he keep putting tariff. That's the kind of person you voted for. You're losing your contract because the tariff, no one is willing to pay that amount. It's crazy. And tourists, they are like losing everything because people don't feel safe to travel in the USA like before, because of immigration process and everything. So this is what he's giving you, because it's only thing he knows. I'm not even surprised to see you going bankrupt. I'm just like, the way you are acting even surprised. It's funny to me, because the guy you voted for, he's the master in bankrupting everything. So why did you vote for someone like this? You're like, oh, he's a businessman, he's going to make a way so we get more money. No. Being a businessman and being successful in business is two different things. Maybe anyone can be, let me explain for you so you get it. Anyone can be businessman or businesswoman, but the difference is, are you successful in what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? That's the point. Because if you go, you can do business, but if you are not smart, of course you're going to go bankrupt. You will not know how to manage your own business. So the guy you voted for, he's a businessman, but he's not the smart businessman. He's always bankrupt. So that's what he's giving you. And people warned you, but you didn't want to see this. I don't know why. Doesn't make sense to me. So actually, guys, I have a few comments from the people. Let's hear what the people are saying about the situation, about how MAGA is collapsing and Epstein list, everything the way. So the first comment say, I used to be MAGA, but all I got was stress and the argument with my own family. The second one said, they promised job and prosperity and my town is still struggling. I think this one may be from Nebraska. I don't know. And the third one said, the movement feels more like cult now than political party. The fourth one said, it was all about one man, not about us or about our future. Of course, he was using you for a vote. Duh. So the last one is say, I'm done with the anger, time to move on. Yeah. So guys, I don't know what you think with MAGA collapsing, seeing reality. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next one. Bye.